Oh, and thanks for joining us for more Explore Tulsa.
The Chili Bowl's got me thinking about all my race experience.
Oh, Stevie, getting to work on time hardly constitutes as being an experienced race car driver.
I look at it as being paid to drive.
Maybe the Sewells will bring you on board as one of their drivers.
Hey, you think?
We've been racing at this race since the very first race. This is a family sport, 100% family. Our whole family's locked up in this thing.
Our dad was, he was working so much he never had time to really put us in cars. When we started racing, we raced ourselves for our own money. So we were, late teens and early 20s when we started racing.
When I drove, I thought it was the neatest thing there ever was, but when I saw my sons drive, I have two boys that drive these cars, and when I saw my son drive, it just changed everything. It made me so proud that something I made and that boy's driving it, and then for him to turn around and win some races, that is the biggest feeling you can ever have, and you're so proud of your boy. And then as he got better and as his boy gets better, you start getting acknowledged by other people, and you're so proud of your son.
Our cousin, Allie Sewell, had raced around the Tulsa area for years and years and years, and our cousins drug us to the races when they shouldn't even took us, but they took us anyway, just as a whole family to go. And he was pretty notorious around this area at the Tulsa Speedway, and that got us hooked on the bug, and then we got old enough to be able to afford to do it. We went and did it on our own and started real low level, Odyssey racing, and then micro racing, and then we've raced some sprint car stuff, and just our sons got old enough, they want to do it. It's just such a part of our family that I guess we don't know any better.
It's evolved to a pretty safe sport. These seats now are full containment. A lot of this technology we're racing is technology of the seats, and a lot of the seat belts and the Hans devices are from NASCAR. So a lot of that stuff filters down. So at this point, these are pretty safe cars. I'm not going to say no one's ever going to get hurt, but it's not as antsy it was when we first started driving, when you basically sat up in these cars and drove these cars. So it's a pretty safe deal now. Back when we first started running these cars, we had to take straight stick tubing. There was no manufacturer that you could go and buy a car from. So we all as a group of friends, would help build each other's cars. This guy could weld, this guy could bend, and eventually this guy that owns this company right here, Factor One, they became the supplier of everybody, and they got real good at it. Well, now you can store-buy everything, but we're still real bad about getting the store-bought stuff and modifying it the way we want it, because you can only be as fast as your equipment, and we have to have the little bit better than everybody else.
My son, when we started when he was 12 years old, by the time he was 13, he could assemble one of these cars himself. The guy that owns this company, his grandson, he can assemble one. You give him all the parts, he put it together, and you go race it. So those kids have learned that at 13 years old, they can assemble this whole car and go race it. They can't build the motor, but they buy the motor and you put it in the car. And that's what they know at 13 from being around it and being involved in mechanical things.
My dad raced back in the 50s. My two brothers, Andy and me, we both raced it. I won the very first race in his car, a borrowed car, and then he's turned and won 2 or 3. How many of you won? A couple. But now our kids are racing this, and this is such a family deal. We know where our kids are at. They're not in trouble. We stayed out of trouble over this racing, and it is such a, I keep saying family, but the best part about it is the family. There's so many things you try to do to keep your kids engaged in everything you're doing now. And it keeps your kids engaged, that makes them think. They're happy, they're grateful. Turns out to be a good family environment to race these cars.